Hello there, and welcome to AI Arthritis Voices 360. This is a live mini-sode that we are doing for our official talk show for the International Foundation for Autoimmune and Autoinflammatory Arthritis, or AI Arthritis for short. My name is Tiffany, and I am the Chief Executive Officer of the organization, but also a person living with autoimmune, autoinflammatory diseases. My primary diagnosis is non-radiographic axial spondyloarthritis, but I have a series of mixtures in there like most of us do, it seems. We always have people living with these diseases hosting our talk show. And it's not just me, even though I have been the primary person leading these shows over the course of our auto ball, which I'll go into here in a second what that is. But we do have over a dozen co-hosts from all over the world, and you're going to be able to meet some of them, a good portion of them actually, later today, because they're all going to be on here live right here at 6:30 Eastern time. And together, we're going to co host a World Autoimmune and Autoinflammatory Arthritis Day extravaganza where we talk about our stories, why there's a need for awareness, and also encourage you to create posts that compare our diseases to automobiles so that we can really put the pedal to the metal and have some awareness and gain attention from people all over the world, because that's really the way that we need to get awareness, right? Get their attention. So what is a mini episode? Let's start there. A mini episode is part of our AI Arthritis Voices 360 show. We air mini-sodes, which are short versions of our talk show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we also do longer versions on Sundays, and those always air at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So our mini episodes typically focus more on a specific announcement or something urgent that we're trying to solve at our organization. So this is sort of a little bit of both. It is World Autoimmune and Autoinflammatory Arthritis Day today as we are broadcasting. It is a day for us to focus on the autoimmune and autoinflammatory diseases that have arthritis as a major clinical component early in onset. And the reason we do this is so that people who have there's over 100 autoimmune autoinflammatory diseases, but only a fraction have that arthritis that presents early in onset. And if we could identify auto plus our type of arthritis, well, we could potentially expedite detection. And not only for the ones with arthritis, the ones without arthritis, because if you don't have that, at least it can direct the doctors to a certain specialist, depending on those classic auto features. So that's why we are the official hosts of this day. And we have dozens of organizations from around the world who sign up annually to support this, in addition to companies, persons living with these diseases, families. So together we really can drive awareness. The Auto Ball. So this is a mini episode that we are airing live during our Auto Ball. Our Auto Ball is our official gala, if you will, for our organization. We started this year as a way of showing the world, more people, what we do as an organization and the impact we have, so that they can tell others, and in turn we can help more people, right? Because if more come to us, then we have a better opportunity to help those people have a voice alongside other stakeholders as equals, so that we can have conversations to solve problems that impact education, advocacy, and research. So we're going to talk a little bit about World AI Arthritis Day. We're going to say that for short. And one of the reasons that we are doing it, and a huge focus, is to creatively explain our diseases, including the arthritis that accompanies them, as full body diseases by creatively comparing them to the automobile. So, or anything related. So it could be the physical automobile, it could be automobile parts, it could be using creative terms, the drive, the putting the pedal to the metal. I mean, you name it, all is fair game here when we're trying to raise awareness. So let's start with, first of all, some key differences between our diseases that include arthritis and the most common type, which is osteoarthritis. And that is the term most often just called simply arthritis because it is most known to people because a lot will eventually develop this because it is associated with aging, which happens naturally. Our bodies will wear down, and then that cartilage will wear as well. And it creates pain because you've got the degeneration in the joint area. Now, this also can happen with injury or excessive weight or pressure on that joint for a long period of time. But the point is it happens because it's degenerative. It is a process of wearing down in the joint area. So often it will be localized to one area. Of course, you can have osteoarthritis in several different joints, but it is very common to have it in the weight bearing joints and localized. So that is one way of comparing it to ours because the type of arthritis associated with having an autoimmune disease or an autoinflammatory disease, both being diseases of the immune system. So there's just two parts of the immune system. One is auto immune, and that means that it has acquired a pathway so that your disease is triggered. The autoinflammatory is innate, so it often there is not a identified known cause, but often is because of an infection or a genetic mutation. So it is more inborn, whereas autoimmune, that side of the immune system, is triggered often through an environmental component. So what happens with our type of arthritis? Well, unlike osteoarthritis, that is, again, degenerative, autoimmune and autoinflammatory diseases that trigger an inflammatory arthritis response do so because the immune system creates this inflammation. It travels through the bloodstream. So it's all starting really internally where it's invisible. You can't see it. We all look great until it explodes out to the surface. So we will get that inflammation to attack joints, but not just joints. It also can affect tissues, organs. It is a full body. So that's one reason we compare it to automobiles. So the second thing is the age of onset. So when you're talking about our type of arthritis, typically these diseases start any age in childhood and between 20 and 40 in adults. So you have osteoarthritis, which has to be caused by, again, pressure, continued weight on a joint, injury, or natural process of aging. So it takes time to develop that, right? So that's often why you will see that in an older individual, but it can happen to people in their 20s and 30s and 40s as well. Very uncommon in children, but it typically associated with older. A third component that I would like to mention in differentiating them is that the autoimmune and autoinflammatory type of arthritis is also expressing that it is full body. I mentioned this earlier, but that is really, really important to note. And it starts from that immune system, which means the pain that we're feeling when you have this type of arthritis, you're going to feel it the immediate time of onset. So the very first time your body says, I have this is triggered. I now am experiencing something, which usually involves the joints, severe fatigue, could have what we call brain fog, various degrees of fever, depending on which disease, could be a rash. So there are other features that are happening in addition to the arthritis, but that pain is felt immediately. As soon as that inflammation goes to the bloodstream and hits that joint, you feel it, but there's not going to be any damage because until that inflammation keeps hitting it over and over and over and over. And then that's when damage can occur. So, in most patients, it takes some time, years, in fact, for any type of arthritis to show up in radiographic evidence. So, whereas in osteoarthritis, the damage has already occurred, so you're going to see it on an image, and that presents a huge issue when you're talking about arthritis awareness, because people will not see it and they may not believe that what you're feeling is true, and we call that invisible disease, and that's something that we're going to address a little bit throughout the day today. So there's many different differences. Those are just a few that I'm mentioning. What would you say if you're living with these diseases? How would you compare the two? So we'd like to hear from you on that as well. But because it's World Autoimmune and Autoinflammatory Arthritis Day, we're also going to put you up for a challenge because we're going to be doing this ourselves all day long. And that is, how are we going to drive awareness? Okay, so I have all of these fun little things. So here's our steering wheel. So if you are going to drive awareness, then how would you do it creatively if you're comparing your disease to an automobile? So some examples: we'll post photos of tires. So if you were comparing your autoimmune or autoinflammatory disease to a tire, what does that mean to you? Maybe you tire out quickly because our diseases being from the immune system trigger extensive fatigue and use of energy. So maybe you relate that, or the treads run thin because you've done too much in one day. There's all different types of ways that you could creatively think of your disease with tires. What about the engine? Right? Because ours are inside. So if you lift up the hood and you see inside, you may be able to understand better about our autoimmune diseases. So, how could we compare them to engines? They're any part of the car is fair game. And we're going to come back. And we're going to be posting all day about this, but we're going to come back here at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time with several of those co-hosts that I mentioned earlier, and we're going to tell our awareness stories, the reasons we believe that we need to bring more attention to our diseases and the arthritic component as well by differentiating it from other types of arthritis. And we're going to play some games where we creatively think of how we can compare our diseases to automobiles. So think about it. And we're going to encourage you all day to post photos and comments comparing your diseases. Make sure you use the hashtag AiArthritis Day, because then we can track you. We can look in the search engine and see who's posting for that, and we'll share it on the official World AiArthritis Day social media pages, which you can find at AiArthritis Day. So it's the same hashtag. Look at that and see how that works. Pretty easy schmeezy. Also, check out that World AI Arthritis, those days pages, because we are going to be sharing some of the posts that are done by other organizations around the world as well. So let's do this, because only together we are stronger, and we can really drive awareness if we raise awareness in a fun and creative way. We're going to get the attention that we need. Okay, so let's do this together. Happy World AI Arthritis Day. Pull up a seat at the table by posting your awareness photos, your creative posts, and that's how we do it at our organization. Everybody pulls up a seat, and together we can change the stories of tomorrow. So thank you for joining me. Happy World Autoimmune and Autoinflammatory Arthritis Day.